and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 277. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
And I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. And man, 277 episodes.
Yep.
That's a lot.
It's almost 300.
It is.
We'll only hit 300 if we do 4 a month. This is so mathrific.
Be spring, be like March or April, depending on...
At our 7-year mark? Is it 7 years?
It would be 6 years. We're in our 6th year. We haven't completed our 6th year yet,
yeah.
so...
Okay.
So yeah, this is a knitting podcast that we've been doing a while. It is the last day of November 2015.
It is. Oh my goodness. Where did November and October go? Because I kind of need them back.
They went somewhere with my waistline, and they're never to be seen again.
Would you like to go first on your whips, or would you like me to go?
Why don't you go, because I just started a row.
Okay. So I am knitting on a new pair of wee little mittens. They are the little ones waiting for winter. The Little Ones Waiting for Winter Mittens by Susan B. Anderson.
Easier to knit than say.
Serious. Like super fast to knit because look, it's a wee little mitten.
Totally naming this episode Stooper Fast. That's what you just said.
Really?
Yes. Stooper Fast.
Oh, I love when we record after I've been at work for 8 hours. Or 9. Whichever. Anyway, so my super fast mittens are going super fast. It's a great, well-written pattern. It's by Susan B. Anderson. I am knitting them out of 2 colors that are too similar, but you can kind of see. Like right there, it was real dark, and then there's some slight striping. But the first one is Galloway, which is just a plain gray wool. It's 100% wool. And then the second is Noro Kuron, which changes colors as it goes. So what I might do is I might do 3 mittens, depending on how much time I have, and this will be like the extra mitten. I'm knitting these on size 6. These are the Addy Flip Sticks. So one side is sharp, one side is dull. And that's about it. That's all I have to say. It calls for a size 7 needle, but I went down because I am a super loose knitter. I tried these on Nick, which is my friend Becca's little boy, who's the same age as Alice, and he got them on and he was like, okay, I'm done. Like, why are you putting these pointy things on me? But I wanted to look at the thumb placement. I am not doing a jogless jog because where it's changing colors is like
between
this line
a purl
right
and
here.
a knit, yeah.
And it's between a purl and a knit on the ribbing, and then when you get up here, it's like where the thumb gusset increases, and I just don't care enough.
Yeah, see, I would just say it's a kid's mitten, so I don't care enough.
Yeah, so and it would be going even faster if I wasn't alternating skeins. But I like the way her stripy ones look. So that is about all I have to say for those, I believe. So that's the Waiting for Winter Mittens, the little ones. And then she's got an adult pattern too, which I have as well. She did a deal whereas if you already had the adult pattern, you got like a certain amount of money off the kids pattern. And then what else do I have on the needles? I have somewhere a bag. I did have a bag. Oh, it's behind me. It's a fat squirrel bag. I know that's shocking to you. It was the SSK one for 2015.
Oh, okay.
And in this bag is a wee little shawl. It is the beginning of it's in the show notes and I can't read. Wild Goose Shawlette. Wild Goose Shawlette by Shalimar Yarns. Well, no. Let me just start today over. So it's Wild Goose Shawlette by Paula Emmons Feasley, who's the wonderful Paula from Knitting Pipeline.
Who, by the way, also didn't know narwhals were real, so in your face. And she was not alone.
I'm not saying I never questioned the fact that you were alone. Mm. But someone put goblin
I
charts,
know. They're like just wheedling around with their big long. They look like a platypus almost with their like long flat bill, and then it's like, oh, I see
and then it's
something
like,
tasty. That was a little horrifying.
that was
Although,
pretty awesome.
if you want to see something super creepy, well, I wouldn't say it's just kind of like mentally, I couldn't wrap my head around it. So Sadie of Yarnivore, her husband worked on,
He's in the military,
yes,
and he worked on an island.
Diego something
I don't
Diego
know. Are you talking about those crabs?
coconut crabs, and they're called coconut crabs because they can crack coconuts with their claw or
Claws.
whatever they're called, yeah, pincers, and they're enormous. They're like they can weigh
And
like
they're
100
endangered, so you can't
pounds.
kill them. And they can kill you, but you can't
Yes, they
kill
could
them because they're
kill. Yes, they
endangered.
could kill them. I mean, they're very slow apparently, so it's not like you couldn't run away. But they're creepy, dude. You should Google coconut
I've seen
crab.
them. I saw it when she posted a picture somewhere.
Diego Garcia. That's where it was, off of the coast of.
I can't help you at
Me either.
all. The
Sorry.
coast is somewhere.
Anyway, go
All
back
right.
to your wild goose charlotte.
So this is the Wild Goose Charlotte. It is super fun to knit. I'm enjoying it immensely. And it is by Paula Emmons Feasley. And she does the wonderful Knitting Pipeline podcast. It's an audio podcast, although she's doing videos. Did you see?
I haven't. No, that's pretty awesome.
I know.
She also hosts 3 different retreats a year, so
Is it 3 or 4? She does
she does
4.
the one in Illinois, the one in Maine, the one in Georgia.
And then she does another one in Illinois. She does the
Oh,
Maine, the fall one, and then she does the spring one.
okay. I didn't realize there were 2.
4. Because she's amazing.
Better her than me.
And her retreats are really fun if you have the opportunity to go. I went to the March one, which is now in like February, I think. This coming year it's in February, I believe. So anyway, Wild Goose Charlotte, and then I'm knitting it out of Shalimar Airy. It's Aerie.
Yep.
I'm going with Airy. And going with our narwhal experience, this is the Whale's Tails colorway. Which sounds like it's a sea shanty, which makes me super excited. Like, I feel like there should be the start of Little Mermaid where they're singing a song about whale's tails. I don't know. But it'd be cool if there was. All right, so this is a merino mohair silk blend. And because it has the silk, when I wound it, it did not enjoy being wound on itself. It was fine, but because it's kind of like caving in on itself, it's a single too. It's a single ply. I am pulling from the outside of the ball. That is a good trick if you have a super slick yarn. This isn't super slick, but it doesn't want to stay put real well, which
Well,
is weird.
anything that's got a tendency to tangle, and single plies love to tangle.
That's true too, because they do typically, although this is really well balanced, they tend to want to spin single plies because twist is only wound in one direction, want to typically, and I'm doing that, it's not actually twisting.
You're forcing it.
They want to go back on themselves, and this one does not at all. So, Shalimar Yarns, Wild Goose Charlotte, Paula Emmons Feasley, and I'm knitting it on size 5 needles. And do you want to see the cutest stitch marker ever?
Maybe.
It's my favorite. Let me see if I can get it. It's a little felt ball. And it's got a balloon and a sheep and a Humberto eating mark. See, the sheep is holding a little balloon.
So it's Umberto's favorite too.
It is, because he is a jerk. He really, like, gnawed the crap out of that. Humberto is my cat, if y'all don't know. Anyway, this is my Gel Bee stitch marker, and she's doing an update tonight, and it has Christmas ornaments. And
Ooh,
the Christmas
fun.
ornament I got from her last year is one of my absolute favorites. She does everything with felts. She also does, like, regular coilless, non-snagging markers and some other really, really fun stuff. But I love my little balloon sheep. He's so happy. Anyway, that's all I am working on. Yes. Totally all. Yes.
You keep sounding like you're not sure.
I am not sure, but I believe that that is all.
Okay, I'm working on a few things. The first I cast on, I talked about it last week, and then I cast it on. These are the Penny Crest socks, which are out of Coop Knits
I
first.
feel like you had already cast them on. Like you had just a wee little bit done.
I
Like,
just started the ribbing, like
okay.
right before we started recording. So this is out of Coop Knits Socks, the first volume. And I'm using her new yarn. And I don't have the tags. I thought I did, but...
Sucks, yeah.
Yeah, it's called Socks, yeah. Oh, there it is. And I'm using the barrel.
So you know how I'm interrupting because I'm super rude, but you know how like Jeb's old slogan for Jeb Bush was Jeb?
No.
Okay, well it was. Stephen
Okay.
Colbert does a really good thing, but like with Socks, yeah, I want to go Socks, yeah, all the time.
So this is a 75-25 merino nylon blend. So they're superwash socks. And it's in the barrel colorway. And so this is a new blend by Rachel Coopy.
This is her own signature sock yarn.
They come in 50-gram balls, so you need two skeins for a pair of socks, unless you have super tiny feet and you're doing anklets. This was I hand wound this one on the Nosta pin.
Did you do a Nostapin thing like you?
No, but Michael's going out of town on Thursday and Friday, so I'm going to do it then. I took those days off work. Although Thursday I have to go and do the IEP for Kobe, or the 504, whatever it's called.
It's an IEP typically.
And then dentist appointment.
Individualized education plan.
And then something else. Oh, Kobe's doctor appointment. So
You're gonna be busy.
I know, right? It's not really a day off. So this is, I've gotten maybe 4 repeats done. It's a very simple lace pattern.
Socks, yeah.
Socks, yeah. And it's very stretchy, so I have no doubt that it'll fit fine.
Ooh, that'll be good.
The yarn
Is it for you?
I think so.
Good.
The yarn is very pleasant to work with. I haven't encountered any knots or tangles or anything. I really like the sort of, it's got, I know I tried to show this last week and it didn't
Heathery
work.
bits.
Yeah, it's got a sheen with tiny bits of like pink undertones. It's really difficult to see, even in person, unless you're in the right light. But I'm really enjoying knitting with it.
Oh.
And I'm using my Knit Picks Nova, not Knit Picks, Knitter's Pride Nova.
There's pride.
My 2.25 millimeter US
Are they
size one.
Nova Platinas or are they?
They're just Novas. They're not
Okay.
Platinas. And let's see what else. Oh, I cast on 2 sweaters this week.
Whoa, dude.
Both by Joji Locatelli.
That's exciting.
This is going to be a Joji themed show.
I feel like it is.
So the first is Recoleta.
That's like total spoiler alert.
I'm doing this one in a natural gray color from Craftsies, Cloudborn.
Oh yeah, their new line.
Yeah, the Cloudborn
Socks,
fibers.
yeah. That would be an awesome, like, also kind of like exclamation of awesomeness.
Mine is normally the F word, yeah. But
But you could replace that with socks, yeah.
I could, but I'm not going to. The F word's just too
Probably
much
gonna
fun
be
to say.
Really, really annoying to some people, so I'm gonna stop with it.
So the way that this particular pattern is knit, it's got a wide lace collar
Ooh,
around from the back all the way down the front and both
so
sides.
you start with a provisional cast on,
You start with a provisional cast
and
on.
then you do the collar.
You knit a little bit this way, you put that on hold, you pick up the provisional stitches, you knit a little bit that way, and then
Ooh, I think her new patterns are like that too.
when it's as wide as like right before your shoulders end, then you pick up along the edge here, and you start doing your special increases.
That's how Atelier was to some degree. Like you made an I cord and then picked up off the I cord.
Yeah.
That's really pretty, dude.
So
Does it have cables in the middle or no?
yeah, no, it's sort of a stagger zigzag kind of thing.
Okay.
But it does look kind of cable-ish with the way that it's laid out, but there's no actual cable. And while I really am enjoying this pattern, I've got to find a way to better manage it now that I'm at this juncture, because I'm only a few rows past where I went and picked up on the side for the back stitches.
Yeah.
But now I've got a set of directions that include increases, a chart for the neck band, and then a separate chart for the yoke, all at the same time, every row.
I feel like you should like copy and paste to some degree.
Copy and paste what?
Like cut bits. See, I'm so old school. Like actually copy the pattern or print it out and then cut and paste it so it's all on like one cheat sheet together.
Well,
like,
but the charts, like the yoke chart, is too big. It's its own page. Okay. The collar is 40 row pattern. The yoke one is at like 60 something rows. And then I've got to work 40 something rows, working with increases at the same time. So if anybody's got like a genius program that does it, I downloaded Knit Companion to try because I've never used it. But I kind of feel like I need a PhD to operate it. Like, aside from setting up the charts where it'll move the highlighter up the rows, like I still don't see what the value is.
There are some people in our group, especially who have been to SSK too, that like have done Knit Companion.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Jane maybe does that.
Maybe. I just need somebody to tell me how to like dumb it down for me. I don't want to have to learn. I don't want to spend 10 hours learning it. I just want to plug it in, tell it what my size is, and for it to spit out something that tells me what I need. But anyway, I'm not bashing the pattern because it is going to be lovely. It's just a juggling act between those charts.
Yeah, no, I think that'll... So how long do you have to do all this? Like 40 more rows or...
Well, until I don't know. At least until all the increases are done. So at least 40 something rows because you do it 22 times and you're doing 2 rows for each repeat. So yeah, 40 something rows.
I'm so old school. I'm like the kind of person that sits at my kitchen table and has everything sitting on a table in front of me.
Yeah, but I can't knit like that. I have to be comfortable. So, I mean, and I've got the pattern printed out, so it's not like I couldn't, like, you know, put everything out and just move like a Post-it or whatever along as I go, but
highlighter tape.
Still, that's 2 charts plus increases that I got to work in. And
it's gonna be absolutely gorgeous, though.
I'm just grumpy about it not being brainless. I want it. I knew that it wasn't brainless when I bought it, but anyway, so
that's why I chose this pattern over like every other pattern. Besides the fact that I love Paula's face and she does awesome patterns, I was just like, I want something that I can just knit.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna cast on some self-striping socks just for, you know, the times when I just need to knit before bed to just like power down my brain.
You have stuff like that needs attention. I always have one project or multiple projects that don't need any attention.
Yeah.
And then one that's more in depth, typically.
So the second pattern that I cast on is one that's been in my queue for a long time.
No hair just flew up my nose. Oh, I love Even Flow.
Even Flow. It reminds me a lot of, just in the way that it's set up, of Pumpkin Ale, with the big wide band, the pockets, a patterned back. And I wear Pumpkin Ale all the time, so I felt like that would be a good choice. I am using some yarn that I special ordered last year. And this is
that's right.
Mustache Yarns and her Sweater Girl worsted. And this is in the Queen of Hearts colorway.
Oh, and your lot is Leslie.
Yeah, because I special ordered it. And it is a beautiful red. It makes me so happy. Oh, that's looking orange. It's not, it doesn't look like that. It is very, very lovely. Oh, God, that still looks orange. Anyway, just take my word for it. It's a beautiful red. Also hand wound because I would rather sit on my bed than wind the stupid thing. Um,
That's because your winder and stuff is downstairs. If it was upstairs,
well, I have one set upstairs, but
oh, okay,
I don't know. Sometimes I just like winding by hand. I just sit and listen to my audiobook, and it's very
that's fun.
cathartic. Especially when my patterns are so, like,
In depth.
yes, where I can't just not think. I cannot think while I wind yarn. So this it's curling in. It looks like
Whoa,
it's
that's
super
far
tiny,
along.
but this one is much easier to go right now. It's
That's pretty. Is it
very
cables at the
simple.
back?
No, it's a slip stitch that's
Ooh,
then you
pretty.
cross it several rows
Yeah,
up. God, that lighting sucks. That's a
your
much better
cables are
red.
very, very tight. Like your cords on the top.
Yeah, well these are on it's
You
on a
sure?
holder.
Okay.
I love using my Addy clicks for when you have to move stitches on and off holders because you got this bar where you can just slide them on and off. It's great. So I've gotten to the armholes, just a little bit
This
past.
is awesome looking. Like it looks like it can stand itself up.
No, it's not that firm.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
I'm using size like sevens, I think, maybe eights,
What were you using for the
sevens.
Clapborn one?
I had to go up two sizes to
Oh.
eights, and I'm still a half a stitch over 4 inches off, but I did the math, and so I went down a size. So instead of making a
So you're
48
2
inch,
by.
then I'm making a 44 inch,
Okay.
but with the difference over the width, it's going to make up for it. I actually did math on this.
You're amazing. That's
I'm
why.
not going to guarantee the math is right, but if it doesn't fit me, it'll fit somebody. So I really love this red, lots and lots and lots.
That's pretty. I like the slip stitch
And
quite a bit.
this is much more brainless, so I've been working on it some as I've been reading. And it's living in a Tom Ben bag.
Oh, cute.
Tom Ben had a new bag debut today. It's called the
Really?
Maker. It's really similar to the Messenger bag that you got, but it's got more like compartments inside and stuff. It's $130, but
I
it
love
debuted today.
your bag so much.
You might have to look at it.
I might.
Um,
Might need to be a post Christmas present for
Tom
Lala.
Ben is a bag maker, not exclusively knitting bags. He does all sorts of bags.
They do some very innovative stuff.
Yeah, they do, and they make lots of little random accessories that are genius.
Oh, like I love my key fob on my messenger bag. Like you can clip everything.
Oh yeah, I use that in
Like
my Swift
love
bag.
it. Oh, it's the best.
So
Like you can
anyway,
clip bags and other bags to bags, and you can make a bag train. It's amazing.
um, anyway, so yeah, that's what I've been working on. So, and I don't have crap finished this week. Nothing.
Really?
You do though. Look at your pretty sweater.
Thank you. It is pretty. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So this is Grace. It is unbuttoned towards the bottom because when I sit, I like things unbuttoned. But I even sewed on 10 buttons by myself.
Wow, you
No
did an
mama wanna
even number of buttons?
I know it was very odd. It's because you do 9, but then when you pick up, I thought I had the little ball of yarn to show y'all how much I have left, but I don't know where it went. So it's very little. It's like 2 grams. All right. So this is Grace. Now my thing's all wonky. Sorry for making y'all motion sick. So it is a pattern by Jane Richmond. It is knit out of Plucky Feet in the Barn Door colorway, which is this. It was knit on size 2.25 needles, which is 3 millimeters. I used Addie's sock rockets because why not at that point? It is an interesting construction. Well, it's not really interesting. It's a raglan construction. And you knit down through the body and then you pick up the sleeves and then you do the button bands down, and there are only 6 rows, and then the button bands, the collar around gets picked up last, and you do the last button on the collar.
Oh, okay.
Um, Mods that I made, I went up a size because it was supposed to have 4 inches negative ease, and I do not like negative ease. Negative ease means that it would be tight. So I went up so that it's actually got 1 inch of positive ease. So it is a little bit big. If I was to make it again, oh, other mods that I made, I had like this little ball of yarn that would not run out. It was amazing.
It's a
So
nice change of pace from.
I know. So I was playing Yarn Chicken, and I was like, I had 15 grams left to do the button bands and the collar, and they only used around 10 grams. And that includes one of the mods that I made is I did short rows on the back of the neck to bring it up a little bit. So I did 4 rows of short rows, and I just went to where the sleeve started and then went in a little bit.
Oh, cool.
So I even made the neckline higher in the back because I hate having necklines that, like, my t-shirt's all sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
It's all weird. Looks like a clown ruffle. So I have to have a higher neckline. It's a personal
Well,
preference.
whatever.
The downside of that is when the top button's buttoned, I cannot just put it over my head. My head is too big to get to the collar. So I have to unbutton it.
It was giant head and little arms.
Um, Mods that I would make next time. So I did modify the arms because everyone was saying that they were too tight. And they're a little bit loose on me. So I had added 10 stitches. So I would change that. I kind of got a little bit of a bat wing, like my arm. I have skinny wrist though. My arms got like an extra 2 inches of fabric on it. So I would decrease a little bit more rapidly. That would have saved me some yarn too.
Yeah.
It had you decrease every inch, and I could have done a little bit more, like every half inch if I wanted to. I did put markers on, and this is the first time I've ever done this. I put markers to mark my decrease lines on my first sleeve, and it made it so much easier to do the second sleeve because I would just count the stitches between those markers and be like, okay. Because I didn't do anything consistently. Like it was supposed to be 1 inch, and 1 inch was 7 rows, and then my next inch was 14 rows, and it was whenever I remembered to decrease, basically.
It's better you than me though, because I'll just be like, nah, I'll remember for the next one.
Ah, I like that. That was a trick from the Knitmore girls, which I'm sure they've heard from someone else, but because there is nothing new in knitting. But it was really, really helpful with going and doing a second sleeve at a later time. I don't know what else to say about it. It blocked longer, which was because when which is awesome because that's what I wanted. I had actually, because I was worried about running out of yarn, said ended my cuff right there, but it blocked that extra 2 inches.
That's awesome.
Which now it's long and it's awesome. Makes me happy. All right, so it's a pretty good fit. It's a little bit baggy, but that's perfect for work. So, and it goes to the top of the back pocket of my jeans, which when I'm standing, which is like my favorite length.
That's awesome.
So it grew in length as well. So that worked out really, really well. So that's the first thing I finished. The second thing I finished the knitting on one of the ornaments, and I can actually make 2 of these. This is from a kit called The Adornments, The Stars. It's by Laura Nelkin. This is the one that we have to give away this week. And I sat down, and it's a pain trying to knit beads with a cat who wants to eat things.
A very helpful cat.
Yeah, super helpful. So he was trying to eat the beads when I was pre-stringing them. He was trying to eat the beads when I was adding them to the floss for the end. He likes to eat needles because he's a jerk. So he was super helpful. So this is Stellita. And the beads are pre-strung. And that's like a yarn over with 3 beads. That was interesting.
It's pretty cool.
Really, really cool.
Get a lot of bead bang for your buck.
Yeah, because there's like 140 beads on here. More than that. So what I need to do is I need to go buy stiffener. Well, I need to weave in the ends, which I have not done yet. And then I need to pick up 3 stitches and do an I-cord for the hanger.
Yeah.
And then I need to buy stiffener. And she recommends certain products so that the beads don't lose their luster.
Mm-hmm.
So those are all things that I need to do. But my Joann Fabrics is right next to the brand new outlet mall that opened, and it is crazy pants.
The brand new outlet mall that opened.
Oh my goodness. There is a brand new, so when you, no one else cares about this, but when you drive up Airways Road,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so let's say you're going from Church to Airways,
Mm-hmm.
that whole left side that there was nothing is now a giant Tanger outlet mall. And phase 1 of 3 is done. So it's huge.
Yeah, we have a Tangier outlets here too.
Yes, that's what it is. So it's one of those, and the first phase is done, and they're going to do the next 2 phases. They have 1,500 parking spots, and it was so busy that they had people parking over at our little mini pro hockey rink, and we're busing them over.
God.
The Landers Center. So people parked at Landers, and they were being bused over.
Was this for Friday?
For since it opened. It opened the Friday before Black Friday.
Oh.
Eloise and I went opening day.
I don't like anything that much.
Well, I got, so I was doing Christmas shopping and birthday shopping, so I got Wheezy, okay, so I got 2 polar fleece vests from Columbia, a pair of pants from Columbia, a hat from Columbia, and a jacket maybe? I don't know, all that for $40. Like, it was insane.
I'd rather pay more and just buy it online.
It was nice. So, maybe I didn't, no, it was just the 2 vests, the pants, and the hat. But still, that's a good amount of stuff.
If it makes you happy, I'm not going to knock it.
It was super fun. It was fun crowd watching. It's a really nice outlet, too. So we went on opening day, and that was fun. That's all I finished. That's all I got. Oh, I did want to show, though. I did block my Orbit shawl. And I think it came out really nice.
Oh, pretty.
I used the blocking pins from Knitter's Bride. So they don't like my board so much, so I need to get the, I need to, when I use them next, I need to pull out the, like, little foam mats. You know what I'm talking about? Like the kids' foam mats.
Yeah, the, like, alphabet blocks.
Yeah. So this is Orbit. It is out of Handspun. That I spun out of Dana Van Wine's, I think, abalone colorway. It's really pretty. So this is going in the Christmas gift box. I enjoyed it. It was a nice quick knit. It takes around 300 yards of a DK weight handspun or other yarn that is commercial. But it's a good way to use 4 ounces of handspun up. And it smells like soak. So, that's it. Do you have any spinning?
No. Sorry.
Okay.
I gotta stop knitting on things that require me to count.
I have spinning. I finished spinning and plied my Shetland sweater spin. It was a pound that I spun on the shocked reeves and then plied on the mini spinner. And this is actually only 2 of the skeins that I've just wrapped together. There's a third, which is still wet. It came out to 1,300 yards of a 2-ply.
Cool.
So I have another 2 4-ounce bumps of a Shetland from Southern Cross Fiber that I'm going to use for, like, the yoke.
Mm-hmm. Color work, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little thick and thin, but it was woolen spun. And I really dig it. I think it came out nice.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. It'll be my first hand-spun sweater. So that'll be superb. But 1,300 yards should get me. And then probably another 400 from the other 8 ounces. That should be fine, I would think.
I would agree.
I would hope so. It's like a DK weight, I would say. All right, we have a collection to review. Joji Locatelli has a brand new collection debuting tomorrow. It's so new we can't even link it because there's nothing up.
There's no link for it right now.
But I was on Instagram and she was talking about it and I was like, that sounds amazing. I cannot wait. And she said, oh, would you like it? And I said, yes, of course I would like it.
God, no. Why would I want your collection?
Because it is amazing. So it is a collection of 11 patterns. It is called the Authentic Collection. what I really, really like about this is it is a true collection. If we're gonna do the whole like Project Runway collection theory,
Yeah.
it really, really
And she talks about how it's sort
that's
of
everything.
inspired by her life in Argentina and how how the people in Argentina can surprise you with they could be very shy or very outgoing, and the pops of color and
And the colors really, really work together. It's primarily gray, which you know I love, and then like a charcoaly blue, and then more true blue, and then this bright, bright yellow. It does have, I don't think you could see the bottom when I showed that earlier. It does have 11 patterns total.
mm-hmm.
Of those, one, two, three, four, five, five are sweaters, and then one,
There's
two,
accessories.
three are shawls, one cowl, and two hats. So it is a good definitive collection. I can see wearing all of these together, not at the same time, but there is, I really, really like every single piece in here.
And she
The
does
first,
talk about how, as we go through, the one thing that I would complain about is there's on some of the pieces there's not a lot of detail shots, but
that's true.
she
Talks about
addresses that and says that they went for more of an artful look versus a lookbook sort of layout. So um, not all of the patterns have tons of detail shots. They'll be on Ravelry though.
Yep. Okay, so the very first one is Puntilla. Puntilla reminds me of the
Mm-hmm.
boxy pullover, but it's got this cute little lace detail at the bottom.
Yeah, the dark gray is a little pop of color. And I actually think it would be pretty if, with the main color darker and then a lighter
Ooh,
pop of
little lace.
lace.
It does come in tons of great
Mm-hmm.
sizes. So it's sized from a 41 and a fourth up to a 64, but the recommended ease is 10 to 12
Right.
inches, which you can always change if you want to change your ease. The size medium, which is a 48, is shown on a model with a 35-inch bust.
Mm-hmm.
So you can really, really see the ease. There's a schematic on page 14 that is really great. It gives you all the measurements that you need. It goes more from a waist measurement and an upper arm measurement because it has so much ease to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what else do I want to say about it? It's really cute. Like I could definitely rock that on the weekend. It is does use a fingering weight, so it would be more of a commitment, especially if you're doing the 10 to 12 inches ease. But it would be a great layering piece, and I love that little pop of lace.
And it's very, like, I would say it's a very brainless knit once you get started. It's
Oh
a
yeah.
whole lot of stockinette. But sweaters that are that fine a gauge in stockinette look beautiful. So,
Oh yeah. I do love the fact that not only does she tell you how many balls of yarn you need, like you need 4 skeins of this fingering weight, but she also gives you exact yardage. So 4 is like the number for 4 sizes, like the number of skeins,
mm-hmm.
but she actually tells you you need 980, 1100, 1200, 1400. So you really have the ability to, if you're substituting yarn, get the yarn, the amount of yarn that works for you.
Yeah.
So really, really like that. It's a really, really the cute touch of lace. I love that. And she says you add that, what was it, seamlessly?
Yeah, you pick up and knit
Mm.
the stitches. So the next pattern is just called. So I like how simple the names are in the book as well. This one is
Yes.
called Big Old Coat.
This is my favorite piece in the whole entire collection.
Well, then why don't you talk about it since it's your favorite?
I love it. It's this big oversized sweater coat. So
Yep.
there's a close up. It's kind of got like a ribbed detail at the neckline.
It's knit out of a worsted weight yarn.
Yep, you start at the neck and work your way around. It is sized from a 44 and a half all the way up to a 66 and a half. It does have less sizes. It's only got 4 sizes, but it tells you to build in 10 to 14 inches of
Yeah.
ease. So it's like a extra small, small So it's meant to really be wrapped up in. It uses a basket rib, which is really, really pretty. You start from the top, work your way down, kind of like Leslie's one pattern is working.
Mm-hmm.
You work the collar provisionally and then
But you can
up.
see how big, well, I don't know if you can or not, how big it's intended to be when the seam of the shoulder is basically just above her elbow. It's meant to be a huge baggy sweater.
That you kind of just wrap up with
Mm-hmm.
in. I love that. It uses more yarn, but it's really like she says, hand knits are meant to make you feel comfortable, but also beautiful and modern. And I feel like that definitely justifies or does that justice rather than justifies. But really, really pretty piece. Great schematic. More measurements on this one, so you can see
Mm-hmm.
that all the measurements, the essential measurements, are there. Um, Really just pretty piece.
The next is an accessory. It's a stole. It's called Southern Spirit,
Yeah,
and it's a color work. It's a striped.
it's a chevron.
Yes, a strip pattern, and it's the yarn that it calls for is actually Argentinian. It's
Yes.
Purafina by
One
Pura
size.
Hilados, which is 100% Argentine merino, and it's a sport weight yarn. And she talks about it's actually a friend of hers who runs that company.
Yes. And
The
how she specially dyed the yarn for
mm-hmm.
her. So really a pretty piece. I look at it though and I think, oh, ends to weave in. But I think if you wove them in as you went,
Oh yeah,
or even carried them up one side, super
I
easy.
wouldn't think that would be too bad.
Just really, really pretty. Juju is the next one. This is a three color shawl.
Yep, and it's got wedges of lace stripes, um,
Garter.
garter, yeah, and with a little bit of a picot bind off.
It's a crescent shape. So
Mm-hmm.
the ends kind of curl up on their own. Here's a better picture, I feel like.
Yeah.
So a great size shawl to wrap around.
So this is another one where I would have liked just a sort of top-down picture to see how the entire thing looks,
But there is a
because
schematic.
right, right. Just because of it looks like the wedges are slightly asymmetrical, and
It does.
I would just like to see that more clearly is all.
I agree. It does look like they're asymmetrical in that one shot,
The
for sure.
photos are beautiful in here though. So Fancy Cardi, another simple name that I really
I
like.
love this
And she
one.
talks about how a lot of times if you want to go out somewhere nice, it's hard to bring some hand knits because some hand knits have a more homemade look, which is totally fine, but sometimes you want to
Yeah.
dress it up. So she has a pattern in here for that. It goes from sized 30 inch to 58 inches. It's recommended to have 2 to 3 inches of positive ease, and those measurements are taken with the front flaps overlapping.
I love how not only are these photographs really pretty, but they show off the garment well. There's not like a lot
They're
of
selling the
extra.
lifestyle when it comes to these
Yes,
garments.
that's true.
So it's
So you
got
can
a lace
definitely go in.
pattern on the flaps,
Uh-huh. And on the collar.
and then the back is a more solid stockinette.
I'm digging the lifestyle.
Yeah.
I
If
want
I
to
knit this sweater, can I look like these people? Because
go.
I will knit this sweater.
Ba Cool is the next accessory. It is a hat. It calls for one skein of Cloudgate by Lorna's Laces, but if you want to do the pom pom, it needs two.
Hmm.
It is more of a chunky. I'm thinking chunky to worsted. Let's see.
Yeah, I would say it's
Yeah,
probably bulky.
chunky.
Yeah.
Um, it is just a simple chevron pattern, which goes with the chevron shawl earlier in the collection. A very cohesive collection for sure. Um, Nice clear chart, easy to see. There is a back shot. You know I love back shots on hats, so you can see the crown decreases. Just really, really pretty.
I
I'm gonna
think
let you say the next one.
I think the next one is my favorite.
Okay.
Manzanilla. And again, if I knit the sweater, can I please look like Hohi? Please.
It's
Just
got a little bit of a boxy shape again.
mm-hmm. It doesn't have quite the ease that the first one does, but it's got a little bit of detail on the arms. It's got sort of saddle shoulders. It's um, loose, but it's got garter, or not garter, I guess it's more of a textured pattern
Yeah.
across the body. It's sized from 33.5 up to 61.5 inches, but it calls for 4 to 6 inches of positive ease. It is a fingering weight yarn,
Is it fingering? I
I
thought
think.
silky was DK.
Silky merino. Oh, that might be. You're right.
What's the gauge? Let's see. 18
It's
and a
on
half.
size 6 needles.
Yeah, I'm going to go with
It's
DK.
probably DK. Um, yeah, I just maybe
I
it's the
love that.
color,
I
maybe
love
it's
that
just
detail,
how
dog.
she looks in it. I don't know, but I really dig it. Um, if it's a DK, it's more likely that I would actually make it as well. Um,
Yep.
the sizes are great. It looks relatively simple once you get started. I actually like the sleeves on this much more than the super drop sleeves that are on
Yep.
some of the other patterns in the book, just because I think this would be more flattering on me personally. But I really like that's probably my favorite one in the book.
Then the next pattern is a girl thing. It's a hat. I would love to see this. So I know why she did this to use up
Mm-hmm.
leftovers. And that's the whole point of this pattern. But I would love to see this with just the white and the gray and then the gray at the top.
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
think that'd be really, really pretty to just do it in two colors
Mm-hmm.
versus that pop of color at the top. If you're making it, if you're gonna make it for someone who is a little bit more conservative, or you could go like totally crazy and do like a bright pink or something at the top. Be fun too. It's got almost a leaf pattern at the top. So it comes in three sizes. The small is a snug cap. The medium fits more comfortably with some positive ease, and large is slouchy. It's great for leftovers. It is a fingering weight. So you need 130 yards of one color, 70 in another, and 100 in the third. So if you have some leftovers or even some mini skeins,
Yeah.
that would be a great use for those. It calls for plucky. So Jess could raid her stash for sure. But some really, really a great use of leftover yarns. Clear chart, easy to read. You are moving some stitch markers a little bit, but not anything too difficult.
And
I
not
feel
for
like
long. I mean, it's not
no,
a giant lace shawl. It's a small thing. So,
it's a 23 stitch repeat,
yeah.
23 row repeat. Anyway, and then the last pattern is Citadel.
Nope, there's one more after that.
Oh, I'm totally alive. That's right. There's that cowl. There's probably two or three more. I'm totally making things up. Citadel is the last sweater, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. It is sized. Oh, let me show you. It's got this cool cable. It's another like coat type
Yeah,
sweater.
big sort of grandpa sweater.
Love it. It is 32 to 56 with 2 to 4 inches of positive ease. I love
Mm-hmm.
that she tells you what size the model is and
Yes.
what size it's shown on. That's super helpful as well. And it's worked from the top down, starts at the shoulders, you work the back, then the front, and then you join after the armholes. Sleeves are knit seamlessly in the round, which is the best way to do
I really
sleeves.
dig the pocket that's inset with the band at the bottom. I think that's a really clever design.
Mm-hmm. And the collar and all that is
Mm-hmm.
picked up separately. Here's the. Did you show the black and white pocket stitch?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got a lot of different textures going on, so it'll keep you interested. And it's
Yep.
in a heavier weight yarn, so it's not going to take quite as long.
Oh, I just broke my iPad.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Ugh.
Probably my favorite accessory in the collection is Spectrum. And it's two different skeins of yarn,
Yep.
both fingering weight. One you use almost the entire skein, and the other you use only 250 yards.
It transitions.
Mm-hmm. From Silver Fox, which is a Madeline Tosh color, into Spectrum, which is another Madeline Tosh
I
color.
love Spectrum. That's a great color. It's like a bluey rainbow.
Yeah, and so I like the proportion and the way that she did the stripes and how it
Yep.
gradiates out. I like the proportions that she did it. I think it turned out really nicely, and I like that it's not overly structured. It's, it's a very sort of floppy kind of throw around your neck scarf.
Yep.
I like that a lot about it, actually.
Not like Infinito.
Oh, I
Which,
like that one too, yeah.
yes, it's a stripy infinity scarf which has lace on the edging.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
So you knit a long, thin rectangle, and then you join it in the round, and then you pick up along one of those edges, and you do a lace repeat that goes up, a short lace repeat. It's only 20 something rows.
Yep.
But I like it. I think it gives it, a little something different.
Yep, I like that the directionality changes on
Mm-hmm.
it. But the pattern is still short enough that it takes really 2 pages and a nice clear chart again. I do like the charts. I do like the lifestyle. So my favorite thing is that she did a little shout out to the people
Mm-hmm.
involved in making it, including her boys.
Yes.
Just super, super sweet.
They look so much like her, too.
I think one of them just celebrated his 9th birthday earlier
Oh.
this week. Instagram causes me to stalk people, apparently.
She also thinks they're test knitters, which I always think is it costs you
They're
nothing, essentially, but it really means a lot to those people who,
test knit for you.
who helped you develop the content by test knitting for you. So,
Yep. So that is the Authentic
mm-hmm.
Collection by Joji Locatelli. We would love to give you a price, but we don't know it yet.
Yeah.
It's so new.
We'll update the show notes tomorrow with all the
It goes
details
live
on the price and all that.
and all the things.
So
We
by the
do
time
have-
you guys see this, it'll probably be up.
I don't know. Sometimes there's people who watch it like midnight. Or
That's
those,
assuming that I'll finish it tonight.
or those Australian people who are on a totally different. I guess everyone is at a
That
totally
darn
different.
rotation of the sun just changes everything.
It's like summer there. It's so cold here. So we have a question from Melinda, and we're going to do our best to answer this. Basically, what we're going to give you is firsthand knowledge of clubs that we've been in that have availability pretty typically at this time of year. So this is from Melinda, who says, I would like to order a fiber club for my daughter for Christmas. Since I'm not a spinner, I don't have any idea of what to look for or who to order from. Can you give me some suggestions, please? Thanks. So I am currently in 3 fiber clubs, which is kind of crazy pants.
I am currently in 0.
Well,
You spend a lot more than me.
I try to. The clubs that I am in currently are Into the Worlds with James and Chris. They are awesome. Southern Cross Fiber and Hello Yarn. Southern Cross Fiber and Hello Yarn have a pretty large and long wait list. So if that's something that you're interested in, they do have gorgeously dyed stuff. And David, Southern Cross Fiber, has some really cool different blends that you won't find anyplace else because he's in the Australia, New Zealand area.
He's in the Australia.
He's in the Australia, New Zealand area. That was kind of a pause. I think he's actually in Australia.
I think he's in New Zealand.
I don't know. It's a mystery. If I looked at my return address on any of my packages, I could tell you for real.
I'm totally in.
Yeah, I feel like he was in New Zealand and then he moved to Australia.
Oh, well, that I can't tell you, but
I don't know. My stalking powers are so that doesn't anyway. That doesn't. Those two don't really work for this year for Christmas because
he's in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia.
There you go. I feel like you are correct in that he did live in New Zealand for a while though.
His favorite curse word is bugger.
I love David. He's the sweetest. He's got a spin along going on right
His
now.
rivalry name is David.
Because he's
So
that...
you know he's been there a while.
So they have Hello Yarn and Southern Cross have quite a long wait list, but they're definitely worth the wait. I think it took me 2 or 3 years to get into each of their clubs, but it's not like I wasn't buying from all the rest of these people that we're going to talk about in the meantime. So, and they do updates. So one thing you could do is totally make your own fiber club and get updates from different people and different blends that they could try. David updates his club coordinates for the month every month. So they go up and they're available to purchase to anyone. And then Adrienne, if you keep an eye on her group, she does updates probably around once or twice every couple months, maybe once a month. I would say she does an update. She just did one, so it might be a little while. So those are the people that clubs they if you can get into their clubs, they're amazing, but it is a wait list, so that doesn't really work for Christmas. But you could create your own club and buy really awesome different kinds of fiber for your daughter that she might like. We did our expand your horizons. It could be all different types that she hasn't tried before, so that would be fun. But people who have real clubs, not made up clubs, sometimes have availability. Into the World has a bat club and then a fiber club and a luxury fiber club. They typically have availability in the bat club for sure. That's their newest one, but you can get on their wait list, and their wait list is pretty quick.
Yeah.
So it could be like an IOU type situation. But Chris and James do lovely fiber. Their bat club is typically always, I think, Falkland, which is a nice wool. Their regular club, it differs, but it's not typically a silk blend. And I think their luxury is always a silk blend of some kind or some other luxury type fiber. But usually when people say luxury, they mean silk blends. Three Waters Farm has another club. I've not been in that one. Have you been in that
I
one?
have been in that one, and
Okay.
it was very
Why don't you talk
nice.
about
It's very reasonably priced. You can get extras. It is very difficult to go to purchase something from her shop and only leave with the thing that you meant
that?
to buy.
She's got lots
She
of
does a
cool.
lot of beautiful pairings on Instagram. Usually every day or every other day, she'll post two
Did she just get
random fiber colors together that weren't intended to go together, but they look wonderful together. Um, and all these are linked in the show notes, by the way.
Yep.
So, and that's Marianne. And as far as I know, there's not a wait list for that particular fiber club. It's very reasonably priced. I've never had issues with their fiber bleeding or anything like that. So,
And we've never had, you didn't have any issues with it being delayed at all, I'm
no,
guessing.
no.
And that's the same with Into the World. These people that we're giving you, we have first-hand experience
Mm-hmm.
with. So in the past, they've always delivered and been, we can't control the
Reliable,
future,
right.
but they've always been reliable. The next one is Moon Rover, who does have openings in her fiber club. I just checked. It used to be that she just did sock type fibers, like she would do superwash merino nylon blends that were 5 ounce bumps. Her stuff is more gradiated dyed. Does that make sense? Like large chunks of color
Mm-hmm.
that progress. Um, but she does some really nice work as well, and she sells 3 month club subscriptions.
Yeah.
So that's another
Most
great one.
fiber clubs will either do 3 months or 6 months. A lot of them will allow you to go month to month if you want,
Yeah.
but you'll get a better price if you do something as like a three
Like
month.
Into the World, it just comes out every month.
Yeah, so,
Like
and
they have
you'll
a
sign
pay.
up through PayPal and it'll just take it
That's
out.
how Southern Cross does too.
Mm-hmm.
It's money that disappears from my bank account
Yeah.
once a month. I don't even miss it because I know it's leaving. Um, should be a tax deduction, really. Spunky Eclectic is another club. That was the first fiber club that I was ever in. That's a good one. Amy does some really interesting blends. She's in Maine, I think, perhaps. She is in the US, and she's got some really interesting stuff and interesting color sense. So I would go to her site and check out her stuff, and if you like it, I would sign up for her club as well. It was another one that was like a monthly subscription
Mm-hmm.
till you wanted it to stop. So it was good. I did it. Mom and I split it for a while. But like I said, it was my first club, and it was really a good club for me to be in. And then you have one on here that you were in.
Yeah, Wool Gatherings. She's out of either Washington or Oregon. I can't remember which. I want to say Oregon. Um, and hers varied from month to month. You signed up through PayPal, and she would let you know that it could vary between $21 or $24, something like that. It was
Oh,
never
okay.
exorbitant, but it would vary by a couple of dollars based on what the base fiber was.
Uh-huh.
Um, and she always did beautiful colors, really interesting blends. She does have sort of a palette that she tends to stick with.
More jewel tones, right?
Yeah, and not a whole lot of like naturey browns and greens and stuff. She tends to go more towards the deep jewelly colors, but that was fine with me because I liked it. She
Hmm.
does dye the other colors as well. It's just not what she sort of leans on and does often. Um, my only complaint with that club was that she doesn't name her colorways, and that's just me personally. I like to be able to say, "Oh, this is this colorway name,"
Yeah.
um, but that's just my own hang up. That's nothing with her.
Then we have Loop. Loop does bumps of fiber. She didn't have any club listings up when I checked earlier today, but she does have a sale going on, so she might have taken them down for that. Steph is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She does one of a kind things that you're not going to see anywhere else. She's just an incredible person, and her club was always on time. She would go out of her way to make sure, like,
That you
if I
got
said,
something that you wanted. It wasn't
yes,
everybody gets this. It
it
was,
was
okay, Laura likes these
individual.
colors, and maybe we'll do a self striping, and like she really made it work for the individual.
Yep. So she is really wonderful. And she's someone that you could definitely feel comfortable PMing and saying, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in doing a club for my daughter, but I don't see any listings.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to do that?" And she would get right back with you. She's the sweetest person
And
ever.
very super duper smart.
Yes, incredibly smart. We like her lots. Huckleberry Knits was another club that I was in. I was in it for around a year. Always on time, always reliable. Just plain, not plain, but the typical blends that you'll find, like a Polworth,
Mm-hmm.
BFL, merino silk. Just really pretty fiber though. I got into Hello Yarn, so I let it drop. So that's really what happened is I had these clubs and then I got into Hello Yarn and Southern Cross, and really I have a pound of fiber coming every month. I
So
can't wait.
Huckleberry was your gateway fiber.
Yes. No, it was my idling fiber. My waiting for waiting for my Hello Yarn to maybe someday come about. And then we both did Cloud Lover. You did it for a longer
I did
period than
it for
I did,
probably 2 years.
but
Yeah.
she's got gorgeous fiber, absolutely stunning. She does use a lot of whites, which
Mm-hmm.
I love. It makes it look a little bit more. It mutes it out a little bit, but it also gives it like this frosted look.
Yeah.
Um,
She varies all over the map on color. She doesn't stick to any particular theme, but I say out of the 2 years that I was in her club, I got maybe two shipments that I didn't love.
And then
Um,
she also does all different fibers too. She
mhm.
would do anything from a Wensleydale
To a
to
sea cell blend,
yeah,
to your typical silk blends, to either merino nylons. You really didn't know what you were going to get, and hers was priced very well as also. So,
yep.
um, so
So
those are the
those
ones
are
we
the
can
ones
think
we can
of.
think of. We've been in a lot. I'm sure we've been in more than that. I know we were in Stacey of Tempted's Fiber Club. We've been in some that they're no longer
Right. The ones we
having
don't
openings.
mention are the ones we know for sure aren't open for signups right now.
So but some really, really good ones. And there's a lot out there. And this would be a good thing if you have a question about one to ask on the board, because I'm sure, or if anyone has any that they'd like to add on
Yeah,
the board that they can give
because
personal
we certainly
testimony.
don't know every single dyer.
No,
Um,
not by far. So, and I like the idea of just getting different dyers stuff and making your own fiber club too. I think that's really cool
yeah.
because sometimes people do their own like sock clubs.
Yeah, where they'll like put everything in a bag. Like I know
Uh,
Aileen did that for a long time where she would, put a skein of yarn in for January, a skein of yarn in for February.
and I think you can very easily do that with fiber as well. So that is about it, I feel like, for that. You are listening to some things and reading some things. What are you listening to and reading, my friend?
I'm still listening to Dragonfly and Amber.
Oh, that's the second in the time traveling thing.
Yes, and I'm still.
You're so put out with it. Aren't there like 8 books in that
I think
series?
there's more than that. Or no, I think the ninth one came out this year or last year
Oh,
because I think I
wow.
remember Jasmine and Gigi talking about it.
That's a lot
Um,
of books, my friend.
I know, and I I've only got like 8 hours left in this book.
Jeez, did you ever find out what's happening? Like, did you freak out when
No,
she came
like,
back?
so she was. Remember how I told you she was pregnant when she like time traveled back, and then
We
she
should
was.
probably say there's some spoilers and such in our discussion of those
Oh
books.
yeah, sorry. There's also a lot of angst and unsurety, but so
From you and the
unfortunately,
characters.
because Jamie had to go and duel the bad guy from the first one, and he ended up not killing him but mangling his private parts because he did bad things.
Wait. Is that what you call it's like great great grandfather?
Yes,
How did he have
but
kids then?
then and he didn't have kids yet. So how did he make kids? So we don't know that yet, right? But Claire still has the wedding ring from that dude on her finger. So clearly he existed still, because otherwise where would she have gotten the ring, right?
There's so many continuums.
So yeah, no, I've still got like 9 hours left on that book, and I've been listening to it on and off. So hopefully by the time we record next week, we'll at least be back to book present time, which is
40s.
well, no, because it's 20 years later,
60s.
so 60s, yeah, with her 20-year-old
In
daughter
France,
Brianna.
right?
No, they'll be back in Scotland. When she came back, when she time traveled back, they moved to the United States, to Boston.
Oh my gosh, what is happening?
And so Brianna, the daughter, Jamie Fraser's daughter, has never been to Scotland until now as a 20-year-old. And she doesn't know that Jamie's her dad.
But it doesn't matter because he's like 800.
But she doesn't look anything like her dad, Frank Randall. Yeah, so there's like so many unanswered questions. So there's your weekly Outlander tangent. And then I started a new book called The Never Hero. It's like sort of science fiction fantasy, coming into your own, coming of age sort of story.
Okay.
I'm only like a third of the way through it, so I can't really. I'm still trying to figure out what the crap's going on. So
Okay. That seems to be a theme.
yeah. And when it gets too frustrating, I just go back to my smut and then take a like mental palate cleanser.
I'm actually not reading anything right now. I'm waiting because I have some new books that are going to drop tonight at midnight. But I want a clean palette for those. So
Laura doesn't wait for albums to drop. She waits for books to drop.
That's super true.
Speaking of albums,
I can't even tell you the last time an album dropped that I
Adele came out like last week or the week before.
Okay.
Her new album 25 is
Oh yeah. That Hello song.
Mm-hmm. Although that's not my favorite. When We Were Young is my favorite.
Okay.
So anyway.
I just got the Megan Trainor download. So I'm like totally 2 years ago. I love it. All right. So I like Bang Dem Sticks. That's my favorite. All right. So what I'm listening to now that we've had that whole my waiting for books to drop because I'm a dork. I am listening to First Grave on the Right by
Dorinda?
Okay. Jones. It is about, I don't know, it's okay, so it's read by my favorite narrator of all time besides Jim Dale, which is Laura Liking. So I really like the narrator, and it's very similar to a lot of like the Janet Ivanovich books. So it's like fluff. It is about a girl who's a private investigator, but
Oh, is this the one that was sent to us?
yes,
Yes.
by Patty Sand, right?
Yes, Patty Sand, Patty Waters. No,
No,
Patty
those are
Sand.
different people.
Patty Stapleton.
Yes.
There we go.
Is it Patty Sand or is it? Oh, well, now I get them confused. Or is it
The one in Texas, damn it.
Stop Pay 55? Which one
That's
is that?
Stapleton.
Okay, that's the one I think. My Stop
Sorry,
Pay.
Patty, we're just giving away your last name.
Yes, it's the one in Texas. Why I always get the two confused, but I know
It's
they're
Stape
different.
55. It's not Stapay.
It's always Stooper. I love saying it's Stooper. It's the best. And
Yeah, so
she
the
is my
I was
stuff.
listening to that one, and I only got to the point where she like made out with a ghost in her office, and I was like, okay, I gotta take a break.
Leslie does not like anything to do with ghosts or
It just has a harder time like keeping my interest because I'm
yes.
like, they're dead. What do I care?
So there is that. So I'm enjoying that. It's very much fluff.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I have like 5 hours to go on that one.
Excuse me.
But I'm trying to catch up with my NCIS, so I need to. I actually got so far behind I had to start buying episodes on iTunes. That's okay because I like my NCIS. Um, so, and I'm so far behind on The Voice. Those 60-hour work weeks, like I can't catch up.
Yeah.
Like on with my free time stuff. Um, so because when I get home, I'm like I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Um, so that's about it for me for reading because I'm waiting for some books to drop. Um, favorite things? I will be at DFW Fiber Festival. It is the week of my birthday. You should totally come celebrate my birthday week with me.
I will
Everyone.
have just seen you.
I know. I'm not talking to you
Oh,
specifically. I'm
well,
talking to
you're
the
looking at me.
20,000 people who watch our podcast or so. They should come to DFW and celebrate my birthday with me. And you will be at Vogue Knitting Live, which is nowhere near your birthday, but they should come hang out with you as well.
Yep, it's middle of January in New York City.
That's gonna be fun.
Yep.
And
So,
then what else is going on? We have a giveaway to do. We have the Laura Nelkin kit.
mm-hmm. And for the Adorn ornaments.
Yes. And I already locked the thread because I'm
Oh,
totally.
I'm supposed to pull this up. Okay.
So it is 2 through 89.
Hold on. I was catching up on my oatmeal comics. Random.org. 2 through what?
What did I just say? 89?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, I'm not, I gotta look. 89.
2 through 89. I thought it was like 90 something in that thread. Oh,
Or
no. You're right. It's 89. Sorry.
as I look at it and tell you repeatedly that it's 89.
All right. So I haven't pushed the button. 52, which should be on the third page.
52. I'm gonna make this big so I can actually read. Oh, it's Daria's mom. So she's made the mudra kit, which I've made as well, I feel
Oh, the
like.
cuff, yeah.
Yeah, and then she loves the adornments as well. So just send
Sweet.
me Lala a PM with your address, and I will get this in the mail to you. I mail stuff out on Saturdays. So just send me a PM with your name and address, and it will be off in the mail. And that's Daria's mom from Georgia. Yes, Marietta, Georgia. Damn.
Laura gets so excited when she doesn't have to fill out the customs forms.
I hate those custom forms. I love all our overseas viewers, and I want you to participate in the cows, or the cows. Well, I want you to participate in the cows and the winning of prizes as well. Like, we don't care. We will ship anywhere, but I do hate filling out customs forms. Because I don't want to lie and say, but I don't want to get you charged for fees either. Like,
Well,
that's
usually it's a gift. I mean, that's essentially what it is. So that's what I always mark it as.
well, I mark it as a gift too, but then I worry. Because I worry incessantly about stupid stuff.
About things you have no power to change.
Yeah, or control over in any way. We do have another giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
The Shalimar.
Yes, I don't have the skein down here, but I have the hat that I made. So it's the exact same thing. It's Shalimar in the Breathless Kush. So it's a merino silk cashmere blend, I believe. And it is in the Deep Lake colorway. So
Bulky too.
yeah, it's a bulky yarn. I want to say it's like 120 something yards, something like that. Super squishy and happy. Really lovely to work with. And I would definitely buy this again, especially for accessories, because it's really soft and cushy.
And then in a couple weeks, we'll give away the skein of the Aerie that I have. So that'll be next time. This time is what Leslie has in front of her,
Yep.
which is the Breathless Kush. We will have a thread up in the Knit Girls Ravelry group. It is one post per person, must be a group member to participate and win. Prizes are not interchangeable, and you have to be awesome.
You have to be awesome.
Yep. So those are the rules for all our prizes. I'm trying to think. Do we have any? You have to. Oh, we need like a thing
Prompt.
to post about. So go over to Shalimar's site. They were just having a sale, and tell us your favorite colorway of their wide variety of gorgeous colorways,
Sweet.
and post that, and that'll be fun. And then maybe we'll do for the next one your favorite pattern that someone knit out of Shalimar.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
That would be fun. Because someone has a design out of Shalimar, and then there's other patterns as well.
Oh, are you pointing to yourself? Because I totally
Yes.
don't. I was like, I think I have like 3 designs and none of them are out of Shalimar.
Yep. One of the Loopy U clubs that I did was out of Shalimar. The hat.
Okay.
Breathless DK. So
I'm
anyway.
downloading our Patreon, people.
Oh, good. That's
What?
the next
Close
thing.
workbooks or programs you no longer need to free disk space, delete files. Whatever.
Whatever, computer.
Michael upgraded me to Windows 10 and like, I don't know.
Oh, that's the worst. I refuse to upgrade. Mainly because Eloise told me horror stories about how they lost everything. And then my parents upgraded and they lost all their TurboTax returns.
Well, that's lovely.
Yeah. So you should back stuff up before you upgrade to Windows 10.
Alright, let me do some. Let's copy. Google Drive. Let's paste it onto my Google Drive. Heck yeah.
I love Google
And
Drive.
then I can just open it with Sheets.
Google Drive is awesome.
Google's taking over the world and I'm totally fine with it.
Between Google and Amazon. Tell you what.
Okay, let's see. Where is... Oof. Let's just go to Drive. There we go. Sorry, people. You are painfully sitting through this with us. There we go. Open Sesame.
Yay!
Alright. So we are drawing for people
Who supported us on Patreon.
yes, who have
The past
supported us on
month.
Patreon for sorry, talking is hard.
For the month of November.
Yep. Anybody who did $2.50 or above gets entered into win a skein of yarn from our prize bins.
Yep.
Cancel. So, let's see. We've got. I'm counting the number of people we have. 70 to 36. So we're going to pull a number between 36 and 70 because that's how my sheet is numbered, not because that means anything. 36 and 70, la da da da. And what you're going to enter to win is one of the new skeins of the Dream in Color Mammoth.
Oh.
It is Mammoth and Cushy, and this is in the Sonoran Sky colorway.
That's pretty.
And so this is a bulky weight, I think. Yes, bulky weight. It is 125 yards, and it calls for an 11, size US 11.
I
needle.
knit an owl hat out of that yarn. It was gorgeous.
I haven't knit anything out of it yet. Alright, so the numbers between 36 and 70, because that's, again, how it's numbered on my sheet. And Excel isn't cooperating for me to renumber it, so 44 wins, and that makes it Lori Strothman, who is in Florida.
Love Pretty
Love
Yarn?
Pretty Yarn. Yes, I'm like,
Yay!
I know her. I know her. Yes, because
She works at a
she's
good yarn.
yes, that's it. Ugh, it's like that store where I got the red sparkly yarn that they gave us for Zen Garden. I remember weird
Yeah,
things. So
makes sense.
congratulations, Lori. I've
So
got your
Leslie,
email. Nope, I've got
yeah.
her
Oh,
mailing
okay.
address.
Leslie
Um,
knows all.
well, Patreon knows all. So, Lori, I will send this to you this week. Rather, I'll have my husband send it to you this week. And then for everybody who donated $3 or more per episode, you get entered into Handspun. And this week we're pulling from my Handspun, which is Three Waters Farm Cold Sunny Morning. It's a bulky 2-ply that I spun last year, and it's
Oh
154
yeah, that's
yards. And
great.
it's super happy, lots of colors, and I really enjoyed spinning this. I would say it's a bulky weight, probably.
It's really pretty.
And it's been washed and it smells lovely. So this is going to be people numbered from number 72 up to number 110. And let me make sure that 72 is the right number. Yeah, because the other one's a header number. 72 through 110. Gosh, this is super awkward. Sorry, guys. And the number is 98. So
Cool.
number 98 is no reward. Somebody who selected that they didn't want a reward.
Oh,
So we're going to pick a number again. It's going to be number 74. Susan Cluck from
cool.
Menchaca, Texas. So Susan, congratulations.
We
I will
know
send
her.
this
I
to
think
you.
she went to SSK.
It doesn't give me a place for a rivalry name,
I
so
know. I feel like she went to SSK though.
maybe.
Perhaps.
So congratulations, Susan. I'll get this sent out to you this
I
week.
also make things up in my head.
You are a liar who lies.
I am
That does
a liar.
happen.
Lies.
So,
A lot.
thank you to all of our wonderful Patreon supporters.
Leslie
And
got a new hard drive for her computer.
I did, and now I can get my encoding done a little bit faster. So that means one less hour that I have to sit and edit, and that is super fun for me. Because then I could sleep, or knit, but probably sleep. So, oh, and I'm wearing my sort of version of Less is More hand
Yeah.
spun out of
It's
a
a
bunch
pattern
of different
selected.
Into the World.
Yeah. Looks good.
Yes. So that's it. We've been talking for a long time. An hour and a half. Holy Lord.
Leslie loves it when we get long. It's so much more encoding to
It's
do.
just hard, yeah, because like I have to make the quality smaller to fit it under a gig, or else
But we were chit-chatting the first 15 minutes, so it's not really
it's
an
still
hour
an
and a
hour and a half, though.
half. Okay. Well, I'll let you go.
Yes.
And
You
we will
guys have
talk
a
to
lovely
y'all
week,
next
and we'll
week.
talk to you again next weekend.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all.